Hello. Yesterday I read in an email that there's going to be an anti-homeopathy campaign titled 1023, and the campaign is about showing that homeopathy doesn't work. And the skeptics who are organizing this campaign have chosen to demonstrate the inefficacy of homeopathic medicines by staging a demonstration in front of Boots Pharmacy in London. Now, what these group of 300 skeptics is going to do on 30th January is that they are going to take large quantities of homeopathic medicines in either liquid form or in pill form, and once nothing happens to them, they are going to proclaim, "Look, we have taken so much homeopathic medicine, and nothing has happened." So basically, homeopathic medicines do not work. They do not have any effect because they have had no effect on us, in spite of us taking so many pills or such large quantity of liquid homeopathic potencies. Now, when I read this, I felt, hey, this is so absurd. Somebody has to tell them that homeopathy doesn't work this way. If you do not know how to show homeopathic medicines work, how can you show that they do not work? The first thing is that there's a fundamental problem in the premise that these guys have made. And obviously, if the premise is wrong, the conclusion is going to be wrong. The mistake in the premise is that if anybody takes a homeopathic medicine off the shelf, then it's going to have some effect on him or her. But that's not so. Homeopathic medicines do not work unconditionally, they work conditionally. And the condition is that the person taking the homeopathic medicine needs to be sensitive to those medicines, needs to be in a susceptible state. Now, what do I mean by a patient being in a susceptible state? Let me explain this in simpler terms. A person who is healthy, if he takes a few grains of salt, common salt, extra salt, nothing would happen to his blood pressure. The body would take care of it. But if a person is hypersensitive, is hypertensive, then a few more grains of common salt can make the blood pressure shoot high. And why this will happen? Because the person is in a susceptible state. The person is susceptible to that stimulus. Similarly, if a person is not diabetic, then and if he takes 8 or 10 teaspoons of sugar, probably the blood sugar would remain in the normal permissible range. But if a person is diabetic, then even 1 or 2 tablespoons or teaspoons of extra sugar can make the blood sugar jump. Again, the reason is that the patient is in a sensitive, susceptible state. Similarly, in hay fever, in pollen allergy, people who are not allergic to those pollen, people who are not sensitive to those pollens, they do not react to those pollens when they come in contact with those pollens. Absolutely nothing would happen to you if you are not sensitive, you are not allergic to a pollen, and if you come in contact with an allergen, which is an allergen for other people. But a person who is allergic, who is sensitive, who is susceptible to that stimulus, can actually get an anaphylactic shock. So what you see is that there are a lot of stimulus that do not work unconditionally. The stimulus work on human body only when a person is in a susceptible state. Similarly, homeopathic medicines also work when a patient is in a susceptible state. So if you are having a headache, not any medicine, homeopathic medicine, is going to have an effect on you. And even the medicines that have the symptoms of headache, not all the medicines are going to have an effect on you. Only one or a few medicines that cover your symptoms very closely or cover your underlying susceptibility are going to have an effect on you. So if you take any other medicine, it might not have any effect on you, but that does not mean that homeopathic medicines do not work. So this is one thing. Apart from this, we also need to understand that homeopathic medicines do not work on the principle of quantity. If you are not susceptible to a homeopathic medicine, whether you take 1 gram of the medicine or 1 dram of the medicine, it probably won't matter. But if you are susceptible, even a drop, a dilution, a single pill can have an effect. The potency of the medicine and the repetition also matters a lot. Let these people take Glonine 1C, 3C, and probably they are going to have a headache, proving symptom of a headache within a few minutes. Let them take those medicines, say any medicine, like cases, lycopodium, Argentum, Merxol, any medicine in high potencies, 10 m, 50 m, cm, and let them repeat these medicines frequently, and they will realize that many people who are sensitive are going to develop proving symptoms over a period of few days or few weeks, either with very low potencies or very high potencies. Again, the potency matters, the frequency of repetition matters. So it's not just one dose, one shot of any quantity of any homeopathic medicine is going to work. Homeopathy simply doesn't work this way. It is an individualized system of medicine, and the choice of the medicine, the dose, the repetition, everything needs to be individualized for it to work. Now, homeopathy has been proven to work. It has a clinical history of more than 200 years, and there are millions and millions of patients who have benefited with it. Simply decrying it like this way doesn't have any effect. There's a lot of research work available. If people are really interested to find out whether homeopathy works or not, I would urge all of you to very strongly to go through the research data that is available. There are some excellent peer-reviewed journals like Homeopathy published in UK, and again ECAM published by Oxford. These two journals carry dozens and dozens of peer-reviewed research articles and papers that show a very positive effect of homeopathy, even if diluted beyond Avogadro limit. And there are books available. I would recommend The Trials of Homeopathy by Michael Emanuel Dean, published by KVC Verlag. There's another book available in ebook format by Dana Ullman, which has got a good compilation of homeopathic research in various conditions. And there are many other websites also, like you can go through the research section of hpathy.com and read some online research papers. There's so much research data, so much clinical data available. Doing a publicity stunt like this is not going to help. Probably this is not meant as an awareness campaign. People are doing this in their self-interest, probably to get more donations from respective organization, and people get a name for themselves. But this is very shallow marketing. Go and contribute something positive, and instead of doing these publicity stunts in the name of homeopathy. Homeopathy works. It is well proved. There's a lot of research data available, and if you are very serious, go and study that research data. The 1023 campaign is an absolute absurdity, because it doesn't prove anything except the lack of understanding, the lack of awareness of the basic principles and research related to homeopathy by these skeptics. So I would urge strongly that all of you who have listened to this video, go out and spread this video to everybody, so that people know that what kind of negative marketing is taking place, and this should be countered by good information, by positive information. So go out and spread this message as far as possible.